Hello, we're just waiting for Kimberly and Shuyan from. Oh, hey, hi.
Hi.
Hello, how are you?
Good, thank you. Okay, so we're just waiting for Sue to come online, right?
Yep,
Okay.
I like your background.
Thank you.
Yeah. We all have got like this standard background that we use. I mean, I don't have walls, so I'm just like in my kitchen.
Yeah. I know. Previously, I was doing it outside, and then the background didn't look good. And then, because this is actually my guest room, and then we actually painted the walls green. They're like, oh, it's actually quite good.
It's very nice. It's very unique.
Yeah.
Like we don't see this color.
It took us forever to choose a color, but yeah.
I know that feeling. Do you want to request for her to join, or we just wait for a bit?
Okay, done. Let me just see where she is.
Sure.
She should be coming soon. Because I think only you can request for her to join, but she needs to come.
Oh, okay. I'm not.
I'm trying to see whether she's coming in. Okay, hold on.
And she's not online yet.
No, I don't think she's on yet. Okay, let's just give her a few minutes. A lot of ladies coming online. Okay, let's see. If not, I'll give her a call. Usually I'm the one hosting, so usually I'm very nervous. Today I'm gonna answer questions, so it's very different.
I know it. I was stressing because usually my daughter sleeps at 7:45.
So
I was like today like 7:50. I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna start my life. Yeah, I'm like, oh help! So I give it to my husband, and now she's still crying. So I'm like,
how old
8
is she?
o'clock. She is turning 2.
2?
Yeah.
Such a good age. I love it when they were young.
So fun. Oh my god, yeah.
I miss them being so young. They cannot argue with you at that point in time.
Oh, how old is yours?
8 and 5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and both boys. So, okay, Suan is in.
Okay.
Hi guys.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Oh, can you guys hear us okay? Because there's like an echo.
Sue, is it you?
Is it me again? Hello, please. Hi to
That's the best thing about Instagram Live. Yeah.
better? So weird. They're not even on speaker. Sorry. Huh? No, huh? Okay. I will try. Yeah. Both of you continue first.
I think it's because there's a mic and I don't know, there's a phone and another
We
device.
did it one other time and we had the same problem. And so I think it might be something to do with her phone or something.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Should we start first or yeah?
We can.
Okay.
So I can answer your questions.
Okay, good evening everyone. So today we got a fertility support group. It's actually founded by a group of superwomen, I would say. And then coming together to kind of render support to anyone who need help in conceiving. So maybe Kimberly, you want to share with us your story and let us know the reason behind starting this group and how K2 is.
Is this better?
Yes.
Okay, great. Oh, great.
So you guys want to start like introducing yourself and tell us the reason behind this fertility support group?
Okay, so my name is Kim. Basically, I'm one of the co-founders of fertilitysupport.sg. Okay, it was started by a bunch of us who have basically faced infertility or are still facing infertility. Okay, and so the reason why we started Fertility Support SG was because we realized that a lot of the information to do with infertility in Singapore didn't actually make a lot of sense. Okay, it was very everything was written definitely by people who have never gone through infertility and never gone through IVF or IUIs and things like that. So therefore, we decided. A few of them actually decided that something has to be started, and they actually approached a few of us and asked if we would be interested in using some of our time to start. Like basically, we started the website first, and then so we actually built the whole website with all HR and different sections related to what we had been through, and so every single part. Oh wait. Okay, somebody said there's quite a lot of feedback. So is
Yeah,
it
I can't. Yeah, I think it's from Sue. I can't hear.
Is it from me? Really?
But when you talk, it's gone.
Okay. Then probably I'll just hold it. It's better now, like that.
Okay, when I'm talking, is that okay now, everybody? Is it okay? It's
This
better?
is so weird. It's always me, right?
To mute first and then.
Is there a mute?
Can I mute actually? Is there a mute button?
I don't think there's a mute button.
I have a mute button here,
Oh,
I
really?
think. Yeah.
No, I don't.
Neither do we.
Hmm.
Okay. So, do you have another phone or iPad or something?
Okay, let me try, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
So I'll just carry on. So yeah, so we started, we built up the whole website, and then we decided that from there, the next step was Instagram. So we didn't expect to gain as many followers as we did, and but after getting followers, then we decided that there seems to be a lot of ladies out there that do require this type of support. And so with our, like, for example, every Wednesday we do a Wednesday Warrior where we wanted real women's stories to be shared out. Okay, because a lot of people, when they go through, a lot of people don't realize when you go through infertility and when you try so hard for a child and you can't have one, nobody understands that feeling unless you're going through the same thing. So by bringing about like all different ladies who are going through something similar, okay, I think that it has made things, we hope, a little bit easier for people who are going through infertility. Yeah, and then we also had basically we're bringing on board doctors, professionals, mental health, different areas where we think that women would probably stand basically a better chance at getting more information. So we're trying to bring a lot of those different type of people on board so that they can share and hopefully help these ladies. Yeah.
So you actually started the group without knowing anyone in the group?
No, okay, I think a few of them actually knew each other. Okay, and then we kind of met each other. Somebody, I think, posted on one of the websites and everything, or one of the Facebook pages that, I'm actually interested in starting a site for ladies. Whoever's interested can actually let her know. So we did, and then so we came together, and then it's been wonderful in the sense that we've become quite tight friends, and yeah, so it's definitely been something that I think we're very blessed that we all had a different forte as well. So everything kind of worked out really well. Yeah.
I think it's really amazing that we have this kind of support group, because you really don't know who to go to when you are facing such, and you don't know what's the first step, how do you approach this.
Yeah.
And most often you are already undergoing a lot of stress and pressure, and
Yes.
you just Google doesn't really help if you need someone to talk to. Yeah. So I actually have a bunch of questions from our followers before the live.
Okay.
One of them is, what is the best way to support a friend going through fertility issues?
Okay. All right. I think that probably the best way is to be very understanding. Okay. I think it's hard to say that. It is hard for you to tell a friend that, I understand what you're going through, because you technically don't know what they're going through. But I think it's to kind of tell them that I don't know what you're going through, but all I can do is kind of just be there for you. If you need somebody to talk to, I probably can't give you advice. but I can listen. Okay. For friends who have other friends going through infertility, although sometimes it's easy to try to give advice, but what we realize, I mean, talking to other ladies and going through it ourselves, sometimes the advice that's given is probably not too suitable, you know, and so it's best to just be a listening ear, I think, at the end of the day. Yeah. So technically, I think that's the best way. Yeah.
Okay, how do you actually know when it's the right time to seek help? So, for example, you know, like a young mom or any women that's trying to, you know, conceive, and then when do you think, you know, trying for a few months or trying for a few years, when is the right time to actually seek help?
Okay. Okay. For me, basically, my personal story is that I actually conceived my first two children naturally. Okay. I didn't have any problems. Naturally conceived. I basically gave birth by C-section. Everything was totally fine. But I wanted a third one, and then I tried for 3 years, basically, and I'm still unable, basically, to have my third one. Okay, that's when. So I think a year and a half after trying, I realized that okay, I think something's wrong. Then I went back to my gynae, basically the gynae who gave birth, conceived my children, kind of thing, and he just did a bunch of very simple tests, and he said, "Oh, there's nothing wrong with you, and you have conceived naturally. So I don't think. I think maybe there's something wrong with your husband." So they did a test on him. He had low sperm count, so we always thought that okay, it's his problem. So he went on medication and everything. About 2 years later, so that's 3 years. Okay, after continuously trying and everything, then we realized that something definitely must be wrong. Okay, so that's when we went to NUH, we did further checks, and then we realized that, okay, I have a low ovarian reserve now, so which means that I don't have many eggs, okay? After talking to a lot of different ladies and everything, we realized that if you've tried for a year, okay, and you haven't been able to conceive, go see a doctor. And I don't say just a gynecologist, but maybe go see a fertility specialist, because a gynecologist may not know the right tests for you. Okay, and I think this is something that a lot of women actually don't understand. They think that gynae is basically a one-stop where the gynae should know everything, but it's really not so. Yeah, you really need to go to a fertility specialist. Most fertility specialists do have a range of very detailed tests to tell you whether or not you have any problems. They'll do scans on you. They will do checks on your husband and this and that, and then from there they should be able to give you something a bit more detailed. So that's usually 1 year. But if you're 35 years and above, okay, 6 months. Basically, after 6 months, you've tried to conceive naturally every month, and you have not succeeded, go see your fertility specialist. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I mean, oh, hi, Simon.
Hey, is this better?
Much better.
Yes.
Okay, so it's my phone's problem. So sorry.
It's okay. So, all right. Maybe we just introduce Shuen. You want to talk about your story and let everyone know how we started this group.
Okay, so for me, I'm also the co-founder of FSS.sg, and actually, when I first started on my infertility journey, right, there wasn't any much support group in Singapore, and most of the support groups are actually found in forums, and forums are really very you really don't know who you're talking to, and they're just chit-chatting among themselves. Yeah, and then like somebody will just cut in and okay and answer your question, and sometimes your answers don't get answered, and let's say if you want to find out more about something, right, you got to ask the person specifically, and it's actually quite tough, because sometimes maybe the person won't reply, or you don't always go to the forum, you see. So we were very frustrated because of all this. We don't get support. That's why we actually started this fertility support group, so that people who are going through infertility, they can find all this information inside our website, and also find support in the Instagram, which is so much easier.
Do you want to share your personal story with,
So
yeah, how?
basically, I was only 26 when I found out I was infertile. Before we got married, we went through a series of premarital checkups, and I realized that my tubes were blocked. So when your tubes are blocked, you can't conceive naturally. So the doctor did tell me that I have endometriosis, and my womb was expanded lah. It's called adenomyosis. And so because my tubes are blocked and it's severely blocked, I needed to do a bilateral, I forgot the medical term, but it's just to remove the both fallopian tubes. And that means that I can't conceive naturally anymore. And therefore, that's why I needed to go for IVF. So during my IVF journey, I had a few failed implantations. And because of the failed implantations, then I went to do recurrent pregnancy loss test. And because of that test, then I realized that I have this MTHFR mutated gene. So basically, it's a gene that causes clotting. So it clots the embryo, it attacks the embryo lah, and also higher NK cells. Yeah, so after that, I needed to see a rheumatologist, and then my rheumatologist put me on a protocol to lower my immune so that my body won't attack the embryo anymore. And that's how I managed to conceive my daughter in 2018. So she was my 5th transfer, 3rd retrieval. Yeah.
Was it really tough? Like, I mean, other than the time, the money spent, but emotionally.
Emotionally, it's really tough. I think it's really tough because, okay, when I was going through the whole IVF, right, my friends were all very fertile, super fertile. It's like, they get married and then suddenly somebody will come and tell you, oh, I'm pregnant. Oh, okay. Then 1 year passed. Oh, I'm pregnant again. Then you get to like, when is my turn? I also want to be a mom, Yeah. And then because nobody goes through the same thing as you, right? And then you don't know how to talk to other people, because when people actually ask, when you tell people, right, then they will start like telling you what to do. Oh, you should go and see a TCM. My friend also tried. Maybe you should just relax lah. It's like all this nonsensical that, wow, if I relax and I can get pregnant, then I think I don't know. It must be a huge miracle. I have no tubes, my friends. So, like, some of my friends, they don't even remember that I have no tubes until now. It just doesn't get into them now. So emotionally, it feels like nobody understands at all. And and after a while, right, you just start to not tell anyone anymore.
Yeah.
I tell you also, you don't understand. So might as well don't tell them. So okay, for me, I prefer to share because I feel that when I share, it helps me to also accept my condition, and it also helps me to relieve, what I'm going through. But so when all this bottled in feelings, right, then it was really very tough because every time when I fail, I also don't know who to tell. Imagine if I tell a friend, then my friend is like, oh, anyway, you keep failing anyway, what? It's nothing new anymore. It's like, oh, then they will just tell you like certain replies will be, oh, why don't you just adopt? It's the same. Then you're like, I mean, it's where got the same, right? How can you say adoption is the same? Yeah. So the emotional part is really very tough. Every failure, right, it eats you even more. It's not like, you when you feel like, oh, okay, I mean, I went through this before and yeah, it's so much easier. No, it's not. It's really not. It really gets tougher. You will tend to have lower confidence every time you try again. I'm sure Kim understands also, right? Yeah, and you don't know where, and you really don't know where to look for the answers. It's not like, when we go for exams, right? You study hard, confirm pass, You never study, of course you don't pass, right? This one, wow, you do so many things. You eat all your medications. You eat very well. Don't drink. Don't smoke. Then, do fertility massage, TCM. You do all sorts of things, but yet you cannot guarantee the success of IVF, and that is really something that, yeah, it's painful. It's really painful.
Oh my God, I can feel you. It's like as a woman ourselves, we need to do so many things, and yet we still have to go through all of it. It's just so tough. Like, I mean, what I feel it helps is having a supportive partner to always encourage you. That will really, really help. You know, like being there just to hold your hand or
Yes, correct.
all of this. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, we have someone asking a question. Is this a test your fertility doctor would automatically do, or
Okay.
you have to ask for it?
If you're talking about the recurrent pregnancy loss test, it's usually when you have 3 recurrent pregnancy loss or 3 failed implantation. Then your doctor will probably ask you to go for it. Yeah. But usually the number is 3.
You know what I do learn from you guys is I actually thought this is only for first time trying parent. I didn't know it happens to, like, if you're trying for it can happen to if you're trying for second or third child. I didn't know that. So I just thought if you are okay giving birth for the first one, the rest is just natural. Until Kimberly shared her story, I was like, okay. Yeah. Do you think it's something to do with age?
Okay, I think that there's actually a term for it. It's called secondary infertility. One of my most hated words, secondary infertility. Yeah. So basically, it can happen with age. So in terms of, for example, when you age, your eggs kind of age as well. So I said they thought that my problem was low ovarian reserve. So they said basically your eggs are aging. Okay, that's why the percentage of a successful pregnancy is not high. Okay, so but in the last few weeks, okay, so I've gone through 2 IVFs now, 2 IUIs, 2 IVFs. I failed the first one and everything. So actually, I'm due to do a transfer of my eggs, okay? A frozen transfer. But during my frozen transfer, we found out there was fluid in my uterus. Okay, so fluid in the uterus is not a good sign, because when you want to put your eggs back, you want your uterus to be nice and clean and empty and this and that. So it was a big question mark. Even my doctor, who has years and years of experience, he could not understand why there was fluid there. Okay, and I basically went on my best friend Google. Okay, and I Googled like crazy. I spent 3 days honestly going crazy, just trying to Google why is there fluid inside my uterus. And I finally found out the reason. Okay, I basically self-diagnosed myself. I think, well, it was because I went through 2 C-sections. Okay, and the C-section did not heal well. Basically, it healed in a way that it created a hole. Okay, so I think that was my problem. I went back to my doctor. My doctor said, I've never heard of that before. Okay, so I was like, oh shit, okay, am I overthinking things? So then he sent me to other doctors, and I went to see another doctor. I went to see Suen's doctor. He said, oh yeah, that's, he can see it. Basically, he confirmed that that's exactly my diagnosis. So the reason for my infertility now is because I had C-sections, which is, to me, a slap in the face, because I chose to have the C-sections. It was not because the doctor suggested. Basically, as soon as I got pregnant, I said, I'm only going to deliver via a C-section.
Oh.
And so, correct. And no, but the scary thing, right, I think for a lot of ladies facing secondary infertility who have been through a C-section before, is that this can happen after 1 C-section. 60% of ladies will have this hole. After 2 C-sections, 88%, and then after 3 C-sections, 100%. Yeah. So
Oh my God.
it's actually very scary. And so the doctors that I have talked to says that there are not enough ladies who are finding out that this is their reason. So since I found out my reason, I've been sharing with other ladies facing secondary infertility. I've been going around asking one by one, did you do a C-sec? And now in my group that I've been messaging, 3 of them have gone for tests and they found out that we have the same problem. So, so
Oh my
it's
God,
really
I know.
something that
I'm not going to sleep tonight.
no. But it's definitely, if you are facing infertility, honestly, go and get checked. There's so many things that can go wrong, and so you need to get checked to see what is your problem.
Yeah, but like most of my friends or anyone that I heard are going through C-section. It's a normal thing.
It's very
So
common.
that is, it's so
It is.
traumatizing.
And that's why this is actually very common in the US and in China, because these 2 countries are the 2 countries that have the highest rates of C-sections, and it's elective C-sections because obviously, I mean, in China, because the lady wants to choose the day, the time, everything that the baby is born, so a lot of them are choosing to have the C-sections that way. In the US, it's also ease. Basically, it's easy. I choose whenever I want to have the baby, and then that goes. But a lot of people don't realize that actually a C-section can hurt your future chances of having another baby. And if I had known, I would not have chosen a C-section.
That's really very unfortunate.
I know, right? But I mean,
and you need to go for surgery, right?
So yes, so then comes the next part. So now I have eggs. I've spent so on the last we spent over almost 30,000. Okay, so my eggs are being frozen there, and I cannot transfer them back until I solve this problem. And the only way to solve it is to go through surgery to solve it, and then rest for 1 year before I can put my eggs back. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Now I
so
know.
it's like the thing honestly about infertility is that anything can go wrong at any time.
Yeah, when it rains, it pours.
Yes, that's right.
Sorry for laughing, but yeah,
it's true. I think we've just kind of gotten over it, but yeah.
kind of.
Oh my God, I don't know what to say. I'm like shocked and like, I don't know, heartache to hear all of this. So when are you going for your surgery?
So I'm due to see my doctor, our doctor, next week, and then discuss my options. But I've actually asked different doctors for different opinions. Because it's something that's so new that you kind of don't know what to do. So you want the doctor to give you the best opinion. So I've been to 3 doctors, and 3 doctors have all said different things. So so we're going back to square one again. I'm going back to the first doctor again, and then I'll discuss my options to see what we're doing next. Yeah. So soon, I hope, because 1 year later, then I can try to get pregnant again. Yeah.
It's okay, you're still young.
I'm not. I am.
You look so young.
I'm 38 this year, so 1 more year.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You look so young.
Good filter.
I really admire like what you guys have been going through, and yet maybe, like I'm sure you guys have been crying lots and like feeling really depressed, but right now you are coming together to help, women, and still putting on a strong front and, smiling in front of the camera. That is, it's just, like amazing. And I can't really understand, like, how exactly you guys feel. But I know, like you mentioned earlier, the amount of money you put in. And then yet not knowing that if it's going to be positive or negative, that is the fear. And it's like, imagine like building up to that day, you just can't sleep waiting for the results, right? And like not knowing what to expect. And it's just, but is there like a fund or subsidy that other women can apply for it, because it's a huge sum of money, right?
So I started off actually at NUH, right? Because I joined, I did my first IVF before even knowing this group. I didn't know anybody. So the first thing I did was Google online, and they said, oh, go to a public hospital. So we went to the public hospital. I am a Singapore PR, my husband is a Singapore citizen, so we do get grants. The Singapore government does give good grants, okay? However, I think the level of service that you get, I think they have basically a set of protocols or anything that you use kind of for everyone. Okay, it's like a factory. So if it works for you, fantastic, and it has worked for a lot of people. Okay, so but I think that because the doctors are kind of overloaded, okay, it's not personal in that sense. You know, you go in for your appointment, it's a 10-minute thing. The doctor doesn't really talk too much. They just basically say, okay, you're gonna come out on this date for your IVF. Okay, okay, thanks, bye. Yeah. So unless you're someone that really will try to keep asking questions, they're not really gonna answer. Yeah. Whereas I didn't realize there was a difference until I went to my private doctor. And I was like, wow, I feel spoilt, you know. Going in for my appointment, I'm sitting there for like half an hour. I'm like, oh shit, am I taking up your time? And he goes, no, it's fine. You know, this is your appointment. So I mean, it was very different.
I know that feeling, like I don't know which doc. I went to see, okay, because I have pelvic pain after giving birth.
Yeah.
So I went to see a gynae, and the gynae is like, oh, you're fine, you are healthy, there's no problem, you will go away. And it's been 2 years and you're still here.
Wow.
So, and then the thing is, if you go to a government doctor, you feel like he's not listening or like I don't know, like rushing you. And then when you go private, I mean, one part of me is like, there's only 10-minute consultation. If you exceed that 10 minutes, it's going to be more money to the consultation fee. But they really listen to you. But sometimes, like you mentioned earlier, you have seen 3 doctors, but everyone is different. So actually, that is what I'm facing as well, because you don't really know what to do because you have different opinion, and then you are in a way desperate because you spent so much money already.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think having this fertility support group is helpful because that's where people can come up to you guys and, you know, say, can you recommend your doctor to me?
Correct.
And you know, share your experience.
I mean, that's why we have so many. We've basically developed WhatsApp groups as well, and we're on to our 4th or 5th WhatsApp group now in terms of and we have ladies joining almost every day because the WhatsApp group has become they've basically become friends with each other. You know, they lean on each other for support and things like that. And I think that is honestly one of the main reasons why we started this, so that ladies who are facing these problems have someone to talk to. Yeah.
And you guys are actually taking time out of work to do this, right?
Yeah. So this is 100% volunteer, not for profit organization.
We don't earn any money from this.
No.
Oh, so nice. I mean, I don't know, like for me, I'm actually trying for the second one. So I mean, after listening to your story, I'm a bit scared because I mean, age obviously play a part.
Yes.
But also secondly is, I don't know, like people also start to tell me, oh, it will come. Oh, you just need to relax. Oh, you need to see PCM. This is the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Everyone is giving me the same advice, but if it worked, it would have worked, you know, like long ago, right?
And you definitely also tried, right? Like probably you tried PCM.
Yeah, I spent like I mean, I don't know, you spend lots of money on it and you just want to see result because you're so desperate. And then, but then again, everyone is, oh, you're too stressed. You just need to lay on the bed and relax, watch Netflix or whatever. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, but I've been doing it. And it's really hard because you have a daughter who is like wanting your attention, but you just, like, I mean, you guys should know how it feels. Yeah, so I think just talking to you guys help a lot in terms of like giving each other support, assurance, and I think one thing is basically just to have patience.
Yeah.
And stay positive.
Yes.
Correct.
Is there a way, because someone was asking they would like to join the WhatsApp group? So
sure, just message us, okay? Just PM us after the chat and then we'll just add you to the groups. Yeah.
Okay, great. Before we end this session, I just want to see if anyone has got any other questions before, you know,
You had a
Okay.
few medical questions, right?
Yes, actually, yeah.
Yeah,
One of them.
for medical questions, okay, honestly, because in the next at the end of the month, okay, last week we have Dr. Kelly Loy from Mount Elizabeth Fertility Center joining us. Next month we have two more doctors. We have Alpha Clinic joining us. We have Dr.
Kelly.
Liang, from
Kelly.
Vertus joining us. Yeah, and so we have a lot of doctors joining us. So I mean, if you have questions, do follow us on our Facebook, our Instagram page, and then you can ask whatever questions you want to do.
Yeah, you can just drop us a PM and just ask any questions. Even if you have no questions, you just want someone to talk to, we will talk to you.
I'm gonna text you
Really,
now.
really. Or you just want to rant about something, yeah, you can just PM us. Someone will reply.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I mean, from our end, next week we have a talk with a doctor as well about physiotherapy that you need for like prenatal or postpartum care. So at the same time, yeah, I think all of this will help for, in terms of like, yeah, current situation and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that, do you guys have anything else to share before we end?
I mean, basically, I think just if you guys have any friends who you know are going through infertility, or simply, okay, if you have a friend who you know is trying, but I mean, hasn't said anything to you or has been married for a while, okay, just let them know that there are people that they can talk to, okay, because we know that a lot of people feel very alone during this journey.
Yep.
So, I mean, let them know that there is something called Fertility Support.sg that they can join, and plenty of people here who like to talk to them. Yeah, that's
Thank
right.
you.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you. All
Thank
right,
you.
we'll speak soon then.
Right.
Thank you,
Thank you so
Kimberly.
much,
Thank you,
everybody.
everyone.
Have a good
Bye.
night. Thanks. Bye.